Air has been killed.
Oh, hey, Morey.
Hi.
Hey. Yeah, we're on.
Oh, we're on?
I've been just waiting for you this whole time.
I'm Morey White.
Again.
Hi, I'm Bob Nelson.
I'm Tracey White.
I'm Pastor Johnny Leckie again, although it's the day before Groundhog's Day. Hey, and this is the Compass Conversation Podcast. Welcome.
We totally set you up.
Is that what y'all did?
We will follow you. You have the name above every name. We will follow you, King Jesus.
Here's to a good podcast.
It's a good, great podcast, everyone.
Good podcast.
That's actually recorded and
We are recording.
rocking on.
We're on. Yeah.
Aha!
Gentlemen,
Here we are.
I think we checked all the
Are we
boxes
here?
this time.
We are here.
So
This is in case I forget my name.
Morey. Your name's Morey.
it's not Morey, it's more Y.
More.
Why?
Why?
Why? That's what my mom said.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Come on.
Why?
Oh, yeah. Well, hey, let's get started here. Welcome back to the podcast. We're glad to be back. And we'll start over here with Mr. Morey White. How are you doing, sir?
You know, I'm okay. It was a okay weekend. Most of Saturday was pretty fun. A lot of distractions during the service yesterday online in the White House. It was just kind of odd that it works like that sometimes.
Yeah.
But you just have to go through it or get through it. And yeah,
Good thing there's a replay. You can always watch.
there's always a replay.
Yeah.
And that's a wonderful thing.
Yeah.
So, other than that,
Had a wild
it
weekend.
was a Monday. You had a wild weekend?
No, you had a wild weekend.
It was,
Kind of wild.
kind of wild.
Emotional roller coaster.
Some of that, I think it was, sometimes as parents, we are stressed by things that happen under our roof that are not necessarily our fault. How's that?
Yeah, that was very
that's
well
very
tiptoed on. That was
I'm
fantastic.
tracking, bro.
You're tracking? All
Yeah,
right.
I'm tracking.
Thank you for
It
those.
is so much fun being parents. And to all you parents
yeah.
out there, which camera am I on?
This one.
To all you parents out there, my dad used to say about my brother and I, story's not over.
That's right.
Story's still being written, man.
So if you're going through some stuff, story's not over. And I encourage you to stick with it. Keep going. Okay.
Thanks, bro.
Right on for that.
Well,
That's true.
All right, Morey. Glad you're here, man.
yeah, me too.
Mr. Bob, how are you doing, sir?
Yeah, pretty good. It was a stupid busy day, things just getting in the way of things that I'm supposed to be doing with things that are needing to be done. It's it's one of those things. But I got new glasses, so I'm all right.
Yeah, I was trying to figure out what's different about you tonight. Yeah, that's it.
So,
New look, styling.
yeah, totally. I got these. They're slightly taller, and I'm having an issue. So I went bifocals 3 years ago, so I'm part of you crowd, I guess.
Yeah. That's right.
And I'm still trying to get used to that. I was hoping for a larger panel, because I do a lot of reading and stuff.
yeah.
And I'm not sure they're dialed in the way they're supposed to.
Uh-oh.
So that could be annoying. But yeah,
Well, they look cool.
yeah.
So there.
Nice.
Thank you. Appreciate that. And then played soccer for 2 hours yesterday, keeping up with the young punks. So that was good.
Ah, that's good.
That's cool.
Keep your heart healthy.
Yes.
Everything else, too.
Rip it out of my body.
The soccer, yeah, this constant running back and forth, but that's nothing new to you.
It's for that length of time, 2 hours. That's for the last hour. I was mostly defense. I think I needed a snack too. So yeah, on that, things are going really well.
All right, welcome to Monday.
It is Monday.
All right, Tracey White, how are you, sir?
I am doing well. Very tired. Had drill weekend this weekend.
Yeah.
As always, I love getting in uniform and performing my military service. I think it's great. It's always very satisfying, but it is mentally draining. So my brain is empty, and then I get back to work this this morning, and it was just kind of nonstop all day long. I bookended today with dental appointments. So Josh in the morning and Kathy in the evening, and we just got back right before this podcast. But the problem with this weekend was, so I go down to Colorado Springs, and they put us up in a hotel, right, for Friday and Saturday night. And so Friday night was worked late and anyway, but Saturday night, I'm like, I'm gonna get to bed early tonight, and I did. So went to bed early. Probably had hit the pillow around 9:00, maybe 9:30, somewhere in there. And it wasn't long after that where the elephants started, running through the hotel. Oh. So, that was an interruption, probably around 11:30. And then I was like, okay, the elephants are gone, went back to sleep. And about 1:45, the neighbors started having a part. I don't know if, we're pretty sure, so Kathy was with me, by the way, but we're pretty sure there were 4 people in the room, and they were having just very loud conversations. And it sounded like an argument, but then it sounded like they were just having a very spirited discussion, right? So we couldn't tell. That lasted a long time, and that ended up being you need to get someone up here to tell the neighbors to quiet down, sort of thing. Front desk came up, knocked on the door. They were quiet for about 3 minutes, and then back at it again. Wow. Somebody else must have called because they came back up again. And at that point, it was probably getting close to 3:00 by then. And they had left the room. So I was like, okay, good. Went back to sleep with my alarm set for 5:30, by the way. And about 4:30, they come back to the room. So there really wasn't much sleep to be had. And of course, wake up early, work all day, drive back home, get settled back in home and everything. And so no sleep, just no sleep. So
good grief.
Josh had oral surgery this morning. That was fun to watch him get on the gas and everything. And
any future YouTube videos?
No. They actually had a sign in there that said, no pictures or videos, just because.
Sure.
And then of course Kathy had her normal cleaning this afternoon. So, and what was really nice is that the doctor that did the surgery on Josh called while we were coming back from Kathy's appointment, just to check in. Hey, how's Josh? How's he doing?
Good.
And you got any questions and all that kind of stuff. So,
nice.
Yeah.
There are some good ones.
There's a lot of good people.
Yeah.
So out there, I would venture to say that there's more good people in this world than there are bad people. It's just that there's some bad people that have very, very loud voices. We'll just say that.
And they were all in the room next door.
They all were next door last night. Yeah.
Oh, man.
And the good people are like, can you please tell him to I just need some sleep, that's all.
Well, at least the police didn't come. Leon and I were at a hotel once, and that's what happened with us. It was people yelling and screaming and crying and blah, 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 and then the police had to come.
And then there was the drug deal next door.
Oh, yeah. Well,
I dealt with that once.
We did it in our home.
Yeah, you did a drug deal in your home. That did not sound right, Johnny.
Let me try that again.
You want to clarify or just change the subject?
I could just leave it hanging. I'll be a man of mystery.
Tune in next week when Johnny clarifies the drug deal in his home.
No, it was at the condos we used to live in.
Oh, yeah.
And it was suddenly I looked out the window and there were like 15 guys in SWAT. You type uniforms.
Awesome.
Like, whoa, they didn't even tell us that was happening. Everyone go to the back of the
Yeah.
Other than that, how are you?
Oh, see, I was going to say a little something about being tired, and but somewhere in the day, I was like, man, I'm dragging today. And I was like, I finally figured out what my problem was, is that I needed about 2 more hours of sleep. But see, that's nothing after your story of not being able to sleep.
Well, you took a nap during his story, and that was long enough.
I had a long version of that story, so. I spared everybody out on the interwebs.
What's that? What?
You know what?
Podcast? Is there a podcast going on?
I did not start our timer,
I'm just kidding.
so I have
That's
no
all right.
idea.
So I'm at the school today, but I'm dragging, that's typical
Monday.
But, so I got from the playground, I get to go to a playground. That's a positive.
That is a positive.
So on the playground, I had to clean up dog poop. So I was just thinking, this is the kind with the wood chips.
Yeah.
So I'm like, really? I mean, it's not like out on the green. Somebody didn't pick up after the dog. Dog poop on the playground. All right. And then at the end of the day, on the other side of the building, completely unrelated, little girl, as she's getting ready to go to her, get this, by the way, not her bus. There are just a couple of kids coming from a certain area. So instead of a bus, it's a car.
Wow.
From the district. Yeah.
Okay.
Car seat. I'm like,
Okay.
that's actually kind of brilliant.
Yeah.
Saving a
some
lot
money.
of moolah there.
Oh, yeah.
Anyway, so as she's waiting, she's walking out on the sidewalk, and a few seconds later, another lady turns to me and she goes, "Hey, what's that on her shoe?" And I look down, and no kidding, just big wad of dog poop on the bottom of her shoe right before she's supposed to go get into this.
From the playground.
Oh no, it was new. Other side, unrelated. This is hours later. It hadn't been there the whole time. I would have known. So I'm like, oh, for real. So I like, all right. I look and I say, this is not a quick fix.
Yeah.
So first I take off her shoe, start wiping it on the ground. Still not good enough. Had to go back into the building. I'm using water. I'm using cleaners and. Oh, the shoelace. Oh, no. So I'm like, good, nice. So disinfectants and things. I'm thinking, I hope she hasn't missed her ride yet. And that clean. I have all this stuff I had to sit on the counter here because whenever it's anything bio like that, you can't leave it in like the school trash. You have to take it to the dumpster. But I had to leave it there to take her shoe back out. And as I'm running back out there, she's telling me, all fixed. Yes, it's all fixed. Here's your shoe. Let's put it on. So it was kind of like the day of poop, very much a Monday.
Day of poop.
Sounds like a Monday.
Monday poop day.
You know what though? Because this is a church podcast, I'm sitting there thinking, well, that's God, that's God with us.
Yeah.
I mean, we're pretty dirty sometime, and he's just like,
Yep.
on the laces,
On the laces too.
Come on, Tracy, I got you.
You're so right.
All fixed. Yay!
Yeah, sort of. Just get on your car and go. Anyway, so that's my Monday, sort of.
Wow.
I mean, there's probably more of it.
Poo Monday.
Poo-poo day, poo-poo. Okay.
We've
I'll see
gone
y'all
from
later.
the podcast to the poopcast.
So some days are diamonds, some days are poop.
Yeah, sometimes. Yeah, so yesterday,
coal.
all right, let's talk with the time remaining. This has just been the Him and Haw podcast.
No idea.
Him and
how much
Haw.
time is remaining.
Well, yeah. I will say one thing about yesterday.
Say it.
It was fun doing the sound differently. That was great. Two places where completely messed up on the songs. So at the beginning, and it was perfect because we had the song called "This Is the Day," and it was perfect because I had screwed up what we were supposed to do. Leona caught it, I caught it. We were trying to hold back our chuckle.
Yeah, that was the chuckle, huh?
And then it happened that we will rejoice. And, so it was like perfect timing on the rejoice. But the other one was really funny to me because
That other one was the obvious one at the beginning of the song. Yeah.
well, it was the Holy Water tune.
Yeah.
And there's
Yeah.
that one little pause. And I went,
Oh.
yeah, or something like that.
Oh,
You know,
no,
I was like,
that one.
what the heck?
No, that was great.
That was not in our practice at all. It just sort of happened, and I kind of had lost. Wait a minute. It's like, yeah. So,
I thought it was good.
but it was fun anyway.
The problem with spontaneous worship.
Oh, all of our worship should be planned and spontaneous at the same time.
Planned spontaneity.
Planned spontaneous.
New oxymoron.
He did plan the sermon though. That was good.
Kind of like live recording. Yeah. Well. Yeah.
Yeah. Was there anything about yesterday you guys want to talk about?
Yeah, you talked about more.
Did talk some more about more.
More about more.
We did.
Why?
More why?
More
why?
why.
I'll tell you.
It's like this big marketing thing. Just marketing,
I'll never forget
marketing
that
stuff.
You know, though, that falls hand in hand where, you know, it was really simple because Jesus made it really clear when he said, when he was asked, actually, they were trying to trick him whenever they asked, what's the most important command?
Right.
And he says, big time paraphrasing, love God, love everybody else.
Yeah.
That's exactly right.
Right?
Which is cool because it wraps up all of them.
And here's the thing. If you love God and you love other people, you want them to love God too.
Yeah, exactly.
So more is part of that.
Yeah.
Period.
Yeah, exactly.
Just by nature of the two.
Yep.
Well, his whole ministry started out like that. And you brought it up. Come with me. We're going to go fishing.
Yeah.
For people. Exactly.
Yep.
You fishers of people. We'll make you fish people. So,
It reminds me of that commercial with the dinner thing and the wild. Anyway, it's a guy and he comes up out of the water. And
It's a weird tangent.
I'm sorry.
no idea what you're talking about, but that's okay. A lot of people probably do.
Well, I will say this. That story, and it did seem a little bit long, but that guy, I just never forgotten him. He's a perfect example of somebody who's been around church too long but hasn't grown any. And that whole question he was asking me, I guess you guys want to grow, like that was a terrible idea.
Right.
I'll tell you, it was a very small, you think we're kind of a small gathering now.
Yeah.
You should have seen us in those earlier days. And I just thought it was so strange because it's like, well, if we didn't want to grow, we wouldn't want you here, right? So anyway, it's like, why are you here, man?
Yeah, we don't want to grow. You going to stick around?
But it was still funny to me because he was knocking the idea of church marketing, which we hadn't really even done hardly. But then the only way he found us was by church signs.
Yeah.
Which is marketing.
And
Marketing's not a bad word.
what was he doing?
Church shopping.
He was church shopping.
Shopping.
Yes.
Sounds like you're responding to some marketing.
Yes.
Anyway, he had some issues. But I did tell that story. But I also, instead of just talking exactly about everything we've been talking about, I also talked about the early church a little bit. Mm-hmm. And just how, in one day, 3,000 added to their number.
Yes.
And just letting that resonate a little bit. Just thinking about it for a few minutes,
Insta mega church.
Instant mega church. And again, it's not like like I said, they didn't just immediately, pop up a big tent and make it like, what we would imagine a mega church would be. But the idea of more people instantly, means, we're supposed to take this and grow. It's just go make disciples. First step of a disciple is placing their faith in Jesus and getting baptized. So
Go ye.
go me.
Exactly.
There you go.
Mega church is 50, by the way.
50.
Well, yeah.
To some people,
kinda
that's true.
Two things on that. One, an observation on that, and then my question. The observation is that most likely, all the churches that were starting at that point were probably like 25 people at most. And generally it was probably a family and somebody who's just kind of leading them along. Yeah. And the small group would be what we'd call them now. But it leads me to a question about that. It's like, why didn't God tell us how He did that? How He discipled those 3,000 people and more, adding every day? And then the answer comes really quickly, because we would try to do the same thing, and it's not what we're supposed to do.
Yeah.
Well, it is built in, and we will talk about it in the next week. There are some sort of built-in ideas of how you make that
The concepts are there, but the exacts aren't, because He knew we would screw it up. So,
Yes.
Can I say something?
Yes, sir.
I just want to make it clear to everybody. Am I over here?
You are now.
All right.
You looked over there. I took your cue, man.
You took my cue. Yes. Did the whole Zoolander thing. What they call that? The blue something. Blue steel. Anyway.
Blue Seal.
Blue steel. But something that's really important to understand is that, Johnny tells a story, but we love that guy.
Yeah,
and even though I've
absolutely.
never met him, and if he came back, awesome. I think it's really important that we tell a story to make a point.
Yeah.
But we still love the individual because, you know why?
Why?
Because God loved us.
Yes, He
it.
does.
You know how much He loved us?
How much, bro?
Tell us.
John 3:16. God so loved the world in this way, a different translation, that he gave his only son, that whoever believes in him will not perish but have eternal life. And, that's the example.
Yeah, exactly.
It is.
Yep.
I wondered about the guy, like if he decided to stick around.
Oh, no.
And how that would, how the message of More would how he would reflect on that.
Well, you know how Jesus would often talk to people who had a hard heart and
Yes.
were religious,
Yeah.
overly religious, scribes, Pharisees, those kinds of guys. And they would harden their heart to that whole idea.
Yeah.
And this guy's kind of like that.
Oh.
So he was not really open to anything.
Yeah.
But like I said, he left the building, right? He intended to talk to nobody else. He was already gone. I followed him into the parking lot and caught him and began to talk to him.
Oh.
So, yeah.
Okay.
Pretty weird.
Yeah, that is.
The thing is, the more religious-y you get and the less relational with your relationship with Jesus you get, the more weird you get.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
That's really true. And
No, it really is.
good people can be very weird. Some churches can be really weird
Yes.
because they are missing that very, very important thing there. So,
Well, and that kind of thing.
and I get weird too.
It really does. Again, I don't know if this is the right thing to say about being religious-y, right? It really is a turnoff for a lot of people.
Yeah.
And like I know a friend of mine that from this weekend who the moment I said, I'm trying to remember the situation, but I brought up Christianity. I said, because I was having a conversation with someone else and he was there, and I was telling the guy, because I'm a Christian, and he immediately said, well, I'm going to have to walk away before I catch on fire.
Oh, wow.
And he walked away. We're good friends. I mean, co-workers. He's my insurance agent, right?
Hey, yeah.
But and he's a good guy. But I think just somewhere along the way, he probably had an experience or a series of experiences where a person acted in such a way where he was just totally turned off by the idea of following or believing in a loving God. Probably because they were very hard-hearted and very religious, and you know what, you're not gonna make it if you don't do what I say, kind of thing. And
Yeah, most people that are turned off to Christianity in any way are either genuinely have been turned off by real people, or by misperceptions that they picked up on TV or somewhere else.
Yeah.
But both are wrong. They're wrong for what real, authentic Christianity is all about.
Yeah.
I ran into an example of that. Actually, last night, Julie and I were talking, and she has never read through the entire Bible. So by going through it, she said, have we gotten to this certain part yet? And I'm like, okay, that part doesn't exist.
It's just not in there, really.
And I'm like, who told you that? And
God helps those who help themselves.
Yeah.
that wasn't that one.
Oh, that's not it.
I'll tell you later.
Okay.
I
love that, though.
Yeah.
Cleanliness.
Cleanliness and next to godliness. Yeah.
See, I love that, though, because it's just the purity of learning and going through. And
And it is wonderful because we end up having a lot of discussion.
Yeah.
Especially out of the Old Testament.
Yeah. Oh, I would imagine. Some of that's a little weird. So, yeah.
Of course, some of the stuff that is in there it can be really trippy.
Yeah. Yep. That's true.
Yeah, and I've been asked by a couple of people at the school if I could help them learn how to understand the Bible better. So I may start a thing on Tuesdays. I mean, I got nothing but time, guys.
Of course. What else are you going to do with your Tuesdays?
Right.
That's the only day left that you have nothing to do. So you better fill it up.
But this is a life-giving kind of thing. I mean, it's kind
Yes,
of
it
where they're wanting to, and some of you are watching here, right? just to understand the Bible better, right? So, a lot of people have just sort of popcorn verses and things they've read, and they hear a message here and a message there, and it's just sort of a hodgepodge of stuff.
Right.
And not really understanding that there's a very cohesive idea amidst the wildness of the Bible. I usually say, see if I can even remember this. Yeah, it's the Bible is God's revelation of Himself to us. So it's not everything there is to know, and it's not everything there is to even know about God, but it's everything about God that He wants to reveal to us about Himself.
Yeah.
It's everything we need. It's God's revelation of Himself. And then from beginning to ending, it is the story of redemption. It's the story of humanity and God's interaction with us and our separation from Him, and what God has done as the ultimate hero to save the day and redeem His people to Himself. And then it's also how to live in the very real world that we live in. So the answers to the problems that all of us face in humanity, and then those of us as we become followers of Christ, how to live in this fallen world. All of that is there. So and you take that and you look at 66 books, thousands of years, multiple authors, and have a cohesive thing like that is pretty amazing.
It is pretty amazing.
So anyway, I'm looking forward to sharing some of that with
That'd
them
be great.
too. So
Yeah.
how to get off on that? I like that though.
I wish I could see how many minutes are left on the thing.
Yeah. We've been,
I'm sorry, I forget something every week, and I forgot to start my timer. And
it's
just, I'm telling you, Mondays, I've been wiped out lately because of
A lot going
multiple
on.
things, lot going on.
A
Yeah.
lot going on.
there it is.
And I don't know about y'all, but I'm really looking forward to things slowing down just a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they can speed up again?
No, I'd like to just
No,
kind
let's
of
just
ease
get
into a little bit slower stuff,
Downshift the touch.
Well, things are going to get cold again, I hear. So we got some warm days.
Right, yeah.
And it's about to get cold again.
Yeah.
And then we'll maybe actually have some winter.
It's warmer with more people.
I'm okay with no winter, by the way. Just saying.
Stick with more.
Fortunately, I know you guys. But I've got a request in. We'll see that hopefully we'll be able to do a few. We're going to ease into some all-together gatherings again.
At the school?
That's the plan.
Nice. Very nice.
There's some
Do we have internet access there? Like hardwire?
on that.
Okay.
The setup that we use, well, let me just put it this way. There's a room possibly available to us that we've not used before that might actually work pretty good for us in this stage.
Great.
And but it's a lower ceiling room too, but it's wide. And so we can do a version of base camp there instead of just the hallway, and we can spread out a little bit.
Nice.
So a little bit safer in that regard. And so anyway, but yeah, the internet thing, I might be able to use my internet access to make that happen.
Hotspot, right?
Or we could do your
Yes,
hotspot. But I
we do
will
hotspot.
say this is in the middle of the school. So your connection, it's like being in a bunker or something sometimes.
Run the wire all the way.
Yeah.
We got 100-foot cable.
Satellite outside.
Yeah.
But I think that I can access that. I can get permission to.
Okay.
But then the setup could be very similar to what we did Sunday and what we sometimes do in here.
Yeah.
But anyway, that's just the teaser. That's behind the scenes teaser.
Very good.
Nothing's official yet.
Very good.
I'm waiting for a response. Well, all right, guys. I'm tired. I know you're tired.
You know it.
You guys are kind of tired too, I hear.
Yeah. But differently.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Well, all right. Why don't we wrap this thing up? Good to talk again. Maybe we'll have more energy next week. Who knows?
That's the plan.
You can join us every week online, on Facebook at Compass Church Colorado. And we would love to have you as our guest this Sunday at 10. You can also discover more at compassdenver.com. All right, guys, final words.
Right on. Love you guys, as always. I love everyone else out there.
Likewise. Love y'all.
Peace.
Grace and peace to you. That's all we have for tonight. We are out.
We will follow you.
Not while he's aiming at me.